Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is facing the fight of her political life. Now Congresswoman Omar got some bad news. That's because Ilhan Omar is looking at one bitter truth that could end her time in Congress. Ilhan Omar's been a magnet for scandal, accusations of criminal activity and allegations of racism since the day she entered Congress. Critics accuse Omar of committing tax, marriage and immigration fraud through her multiple marriages to 3 different men. Omar also came into Congress espousing anti-Semitic rhetoric about secret Jewish money pulling the strings of American politicians. Eventually some Democrats had enough. Despite the fact that she is a member of the squad, which granted her rock star status with the Democrat base, Omar is facing a fierce primary challenge from Anton Melton Moe. Omar is so radioactive with what passes for mainstream Democrats these days that Colorado Governor Jared Polis donated $1,000 to Melton Moe's campaign. The Washington Examiner reports, Colorado Governor Jared Polis made a significant donation to the campaign of Minnesota Rep. Ilhan Omar's primary opponent. According to campaign finance records, Polis, a Democrat, donated $1,000 to Anton Melton Moe, a Minneapolis attorney who is running as a Democrat in the primary race for Omar's seat, on Monday. Despite the fact that Omar is a grassroots powerhouse, Melton Moe raised $3.2 million in the March to April fundraising period to Omar's $471,000. Omar's anti-Semitism is driving some of the opposition to her campaign. Donations to Melton Moe have also stemmed from Jewish and pro-Israel organizations in response to Omar's history of making remarks perceived as anti-Semitic. Polis also happens to be Jewish and has previously spoken about his fears of the rise in anti-Semitism in the United States and his support for a strong relationship between the U.S. and Israel. The Washington Examiner also reported, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez easily won her primary. Fellow squad members Omar and Rashida Tlaib are also facing primary challenges. Democrats don't want to get rid of Omar, Tlaib and Ocasio-Cortez because they are radical socialists. All Democrats are radical. Establishment Democrats want to rid themselves of Tlaib, Omar and Ocasio-Cortez because they think they are political embarrassments whose antics make it more difficult to enact their agenda because of the constant stream of negative headlines. One other factor may be working against Omar. Since the George Floyd Black Lives Matter riots and Omar cheerleading the city of Minneapolis defunding their police, polls in Minnesota have shown movement toward Donald Trump. Voters in Omar's district, which includes Minneapolis, could be turning against Omar as they realize the lawlessness she promotes endangers lives, and now it could come back to cost Omar her congressional career.